General.
Damn right.
You understand? This is the language, the Lashawan Qadash. And with that, okay, so 1 more minute. Okay, so this is the language, understand what I'm saying, that we're going to turn to, because it was like the Most High is not going to teach the angels a new language. You understand? If Paul says it's the language of the angels, then you mean to tell me the angels got to learn a new language for you when you can learn and reclaim your own language?
That's right.
That's why we're here. We're here to bring back every aspect of Israel back to who we really are. And that's what it's all about. You understand what I'm saying? That's what all of these classes are about. But the Lashawan Qadash in particular gives you an insight in the way we communicated, man. And when you find out, like, hey, this is how we talk. You know, they call it ebonics and whatever they want to call it today, but it's our natural way. Like, we use words different from other nations. And we try to eliminate any word that we don't need to use. It's direct. It's pure. That's because these fake Jewish Edomites, they could not absorb the language in its pure form, so they made up their own language that was closely connected to their dialects.
Right.
You understand? The pronunciations, Yahweh. Really? You understand? Like, they have bastardized everything, including our homeland, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to get cleansed.
Right.
Don't worry about to catch it, man. Like, I'm trying to tell you, man, I listened to Commander General the other night, man, and, you know, he was talking about the, you ready, sir? He was talking about, you know, how they was committing genocide against the Hispanic tribes with these operations. You understand? With these, I can't, hysterectomies and these new type of abortions where they let the baby live, and then they kill the baby, and what's the word he used? And they make profit off of the parts of the body parts. You know, he was talking about that the other night, man, and you know, and I was like, damn, you know, and I know it's true because he proved it on the show. You understand what I'm saying? So these people here, they got, you know, they don't know God and they don't believe in him at all. Understand? They think that that the Bible is some kind of fairy book or something that they can use to manipulate the people and to bring about false religions and stuff like that. But what this really is the record of the Israelites.
That's right.
So-called Black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native Indians. These are our records. It belongs to us. It pertains to us and above all the other nations. And with that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer of 1000, Dabawan. Shalom.
Most High in Christ. Get that powerful priest and prophet in the other hand, man.
Yeah, right.
The water. The water, brother, for holding me down. Salakia for my tardiness. You know what I'm saying? What the brother was saying was absolutely correct. Everything in terms of this Lashawan Qadash, what we're doing, and why we do it. You understand?
Yeah, right.
This is a return. You know what I'm saying? This is a return to our culture, a return to our history. And also, let me get a scripture real fast, just to piggyback on what the brother said. That was so excellent. If I could, part of why we do. Give me first Maccabees. First Maccabees started 1:44. Real quick, if you could, sure. Come. So we're gonna piggyback off what we've been doing over the past few weeks. We're gonna continue, pick up right where we left off. Okay. But in the meantime, let me just get this scripture because the brother was saying was so heavy about these heathens.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? And their whatever versions, you know, I don't even like to say versions, you know what I mean? Because it's just not Hebrew. Whatever they're doing is not Hebrew.
That's right.
It's a completely bastardized, like the brother said, bastardized version of our language. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? It's almost to the point of, it's like if I take some mac and cheese, right? Like I take black people mac and cheese, and then I put some raisins in it. I put some pecans in it. you know what I'm saying, some nasty bacon bits or something in the mac and cheese, all of a sudden, guess what? It may look from a distance, it may look like mac and cheese.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To some degree, even though it probably won't. But let's just say on a lucky day, it might even smell like mac and cheese. But you know, as soon as you taste that, it's gonna be like, wait a minute, this is not correct.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The recipe is incorrect. If you add the wrong thing to the recipe, then it's not that thing anymore.
Damn right.
This is something else. You understand? And that's what has happened with our culture. That's what's happened. It's not that our culture just floated away into the abyss somewhere.
Okay.
No, our culture was co-opted. Who knows what that word means, to co-opt something?
Oh, Slicer is the claim it for yourself.
You want it. You're very close. Damn, you right there with it. What you got, Yanazar?
I was going to say that plus add to it to use it
Mm-hmm.
in a manner, you understand, that benefits yourself
Right.
and to the detriment of the people who belong.
Right. Y'all both right. You both on it. You a little bit more on it, Yanazar. But to
Okay.
co-opt something is almost, it's pretty much to steal it.
Come
To
on.
steal it as such that now it's treated like it belongs to you. Right? It's almost like, okay, like when you think of a rainbow right now, what do you think of?
Slicer, the gay movement. Or the homosexual movement. I don't know which one.
You say LGBTQ, right?
Oh, come on.
You're good, right? But that's what you think of when you think of a rainbow.
Damn right.
But what was the original purpose of a rainbow? Or one of the original purposes?
Oh,
Yeah.
Slicer.
In terms of as symbolism, meaning.
The reign is over.
Exactly. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. When the water was done, it was a symbol of the covenant, right? But it's been what? It's been co-opted by the LGBTQ community. Certain words that now, when you think of it, you associate it with either LGBTQ or you might associate it with the blackity blacks,
Right.
right? You associate it with them because it's been co-opted. It's been taken in such a way that now it's like you forget what it originally meant or what it was used for. You know what I'm saying? But you have that scripture for me?
Come on.
Go ahead and read that, brother.
Okay, so it's the first book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 44. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem
Huh?
and the cities of Judah.
Right. So the king right now, we in the Maccabees, right? What king is this? It's the Greeks, but who remembers the name of the king?
Alexander? No, because he's Persian. Right? Alexander. Oh, Slakia. Good.
He was one of the generals. Remember, Alexander has died at this point. Right. Now he has split up the kingdom into 4 states.
Right.
Slakia, sir, is
Yeah.
King Darius?
Is it Darius at this point?
Let's
It
say
might
that.
be.
Had smitten Darius, king of the Persian Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
It might be Darius. Yeah, it probably is Darius. It probably is Darius, but it's definitely the Greeks. But it probably is. No, it can't be Darius because Darius wasn't the king of the Greeks. Darius was the king of the Persians.
In verse 18, it's talking about Ptolemy,
Mhm.
king of Egypt, was afraid of him.
Mhm.
But it doesn't, I don't see his name.
If Ptolemy was the king of Egypt, then that means the Greeks have already taken over. Because he was given that province. Ptolemy was a Greek, he was given that province.
Okay.
So it can't be Darius, it can't be Xerxes because they're Persians.
Yes, Slakia, sir, if I could, on chapter 1 and 1 of First Maccabees, it says, and it happened that after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians, means that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
Right?
So
He
it's saying,
killed Darius.
so did he take over, Alexander take over Greece?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. Oh, please.
Slakia.
Get in the mic.
Oh, Slakia.
Oh, shit.
Alexander was the king of Greece, and he was the conqueror. He was like the king general, and he conquered Persia.
Right.
And then he only reigned for 12 years, and he died a young man, and then he split the kingdom between his 4 generals. And that's what we're trying to figure out, which one was over the province, which included Israel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's dead. It says in
I know who it was.
in
I
verse
believe
7.
At this time, I believe. If I could be wrong, but if it's not him, it was who came before him, Antiochus. That's who it was. Antiochus.
Yep, that's it in verse 41.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, it was Antiochus, right? During the Maccabean revolt. So read it. Maisha.
First book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 44. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah.
Right. So Antiochus sent letters by messengers to who?
To the unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah.
Right. So y'all think that Leonidas was the good guy.
Right.
You watch 300 and you say, man, them Persians, man, they're so mean. Why are they making them do this? And then guess what? Greece took over, and guess what? They're doing the same thing.
Right.
It says they sent letters by what?
By messengers.
What did they do at the beginning of 300? What did King Xerxes do?
Send a messenger,
He sent
sir.
a letter by messenger. And what did Antiochus do? He sent a letter by messenger saying to do what?
That they should follow the strange laws of the land.
That they should do what?
Follow the strange laws of the land.
King Xerxes said, all I want is what? Earth and water. Earth and water. Like he just wants you just to bow down and just say that Xerxes is king. Well, now they're going to our ancestors and saying what? They want us to do what?
They should follow the strange laws of the land.
They said, listen, forget about your laws. You should do how our people do. Go ahead.
Verse 45. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice.
And forbid what?
Forbid burnt
They
offerings.
forbid burnt offerings. Know what that means? That means that they forbid you to practice the Feast of Unleavened Bread. They forbid you to practice the Passover, practice the Feast of Tabernacles. You know what I'm saying? What we got next? Memorial blowing of the trumpets. Give me some more.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
You already said a piece.
Well, actually, it wouldn't be Hanukkah. Hanukkah happens after
Okay,
this.
Hanukkah.
Right, so Hanukkah didn't exist yet.
Okay.
But no sweat. Feast of First Fruits. Right, there we go. The Day of Atonement. Purim. The day of Purim. I'm gonna say it right. Purim. Okay. They didn't want us to do what? Burnt offerings. Go ahead.
And sacrifice and drink offering
Right.
in the temple.
And that in the temple, in our temple. This is our temple. And they're telling us you shouldn't be doing those. Don't do that Feast of Tabernacles in that temple. Don't do that. What's that? Don't do that Feast of Purim in that temple. Go ahead.
And that they should profane the Sabbaths.
And that they should what?
Profane the Sabbaths.
They should profane the Sabbath. What does it mean to profane the Sabbath?
It's like it's violated. Well,
that's a good word. You use violate. That's a good word. I'll take that. To profane. What does it mean to? Let's look at the word profane real quick.
Okay.
We're not gonna spend too much time. Salakia. What does it mean to profane something?
The Oxford Dictionary definition: profane, relating or devoted to that which is not sacred or biblical, secular rather than religious.
In other words, to do something in that area that's supposed to be what? Holy, that is against the scriptures, that is against the Most High. Okay? So to profane the Sabbath, right? The Sabbath is a holy day. Go ahead, Yanazar. No sweat. You gotta read it. Please.
It says to treat with abuse, irreverence, or contempt, to desecrate.
Read that again on the mic.
Salakis. To treat something sacred with abuse, irreverence, or contempt, to desecrate, to debase by wrong, unworthy, vulgar use.
That is a perfect definition right there. The water for that. The other one was good too, but that's perfect, right? To profane the Sabbath means to desecrate it, right? And it's talking about in the temple. These are our holy things, right? In other words, imagine if I was to come in here and say, "Hey, Shalom, Akim, what y'all got going on, man? Hey, man, I brought some food, man. I got some hot dogs. The Most High in Christ, brother. Where you get them from? Man, I got them from Porkity Porkville, man. These are the most porkity pork is eating hot dogs you ever had in your life. And I'm bringing them up into school, and you see me sit up here trying to teach Lashawan Qadash eating a pork glizzy. Pause. Or imagine I come up in the Sabbath service while Officer Yanazar and Officer Mahayar are so eloquently teaching the Sabbath service. And for the showbread, I come in and say, yo, I got some showbread, y'all. And right next to the showbread, guess what? I made this showbread. I toasted it. I toasted it in some lard, man. And this is the best showbread you'd have never had. And then I put it on the table. But imagine that times a gazillion. We're talking about the temple. We're talking about the temple. And now we profaning it. That's what they want us to do. Go ahead.
Verse 46. Oh, it's like it. And that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. Verse 46. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
Right, read on.
Verse 47. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols.
And chapels of who?
Chapels of idols.
And chapels of idols. Go ahead.
And sacrifice swine's flesh.
There we go right there. And sacrifice swine's flesh. Any more than that? Go ahead.
Just a little bit. And unclean beasts.
And unclean beasts. This is what they wanted us to do. These heathens, guess what? They wanted to be in the temple. They didn't want the temple just to be destroyed. That came later. The Romans destroyed the temple. That came later. The Greeks didn't want to destroy the temple. They didn't want to destroy Jerusalem. They didn't want to destroy our land. All they wanted to do was for us to do what? Give me a good word. You write profane, but give me a good word we would use today. That's a good word for what they want to do with the temple, but what did they want us to do? It's a good word. It starts with an A. I just gave it to you.
It's like an abandon?
No, that's you right, but no, that's not the word I'm looking for. People do it today in America.
Oh, it's like it. Assimilate.
That's the word.
Most not correct.
They wanted us to assimilate. It was an affront to their nature that we would say, yeah, pork. No, we don't eat that.
Come on.
Yeah, crab, shrimp, lobster. No, that's disgusting. We don't eat that. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, even other animals, beavers and squirrels.
Yes.
I know down south they eat some squirrels.
Come on. They do. They sure do.
You had some squirrel on your show?
Oh, la, sir. Not that far south. I mean, not me. But I mean,
Most high in Christ, brother. I'm glad. I'm glad you never went down that road. But I definitely had talked to him. My grandfather told me he ate some squirrel down in South Carolina. I said, damn, that's
oh yeah, that's
you
what
know what I mean. I was scared of down south because of that. I'm like, I'm never going down there. They eating squirrels and all kind of things.
It's like if I could. Have y'all heard of possum up north? Y'all heard of possum?
Ever heard of a possum?
Yeah, possums.
Like the animal?
Yeah, come on.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
I've seen I actually seen a possum. Yeah, I remember. I only seen up there where I'm from in New York. I only seen one.
Okay.
In fact, I remember it too because I was going into my crib, going into my building, and like my building got they got a main door and then they got like side doors. So I'm going into the side door because it's right under my apartment.
Okay.
I'm going in and I'm looking. I just see a tail sticking out like the bush. I'm like, the hell is that? I get closer and I seen that ugly. I was like, and I went up the block. You know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely seen one before Salakia.
Okay, most like.
Hey, Shalom Akash. Oh, my bad. Hey, Shalom Akash. How about you?
Shalom.
I'm sorry, Christ. You too about?
Kind of long time. Had some problems getting on, but I'm on now.
No sweat. The water, brother. The water. Most high in Christ. God. But yeah, that's what they wanted us to do. So look at how they've done our language and all these things. It's the same thing. They've profaned our culture. They have tarnished our culture. They have desecrated our culture, as Officer Yanazar read so well. They've desecrated it.
Damn
when
right.
You start saying things like,
My books.
I'll leave the other ones for now, right? I'm gonna end up erasing them, but for the time being, we'll leave it. When you say things like, Mazel tov.
Ugh. Yeah, word.
Yeah.
I'm probably giving them more credit than they deserve. I just remember this day because we always got this day off.
That's the day of atonement right there. I don't know what the word is.
Mazel tov. It's a Jewish phrase. Good fortune.
Good. Yeah, I forget.
Right, see? And notice it even says Yiddish. It says Hebrew/Yiddish. That's what it says. Oh, let me move my laptop slide. My bad. It says it right. It says Hebrew/Yiddish. Well, which one is it, David?
Right.
Is it Hebrew or is it Yiddish? If it's Hebrew, why you got to write Yiddish too?
Right.
That ain't no damn Hebrew. There's 3 letters. See that? What we talked about last week. Now check that out. You got this word mazel tov. That's how many syllables is that? That's 3 syllables. But if I write this word in Hebrew, even if I write it in Assyrian, now that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. How is it possible to get 3 syllables? Mazal, okay, because that's actually how you would say that word, mazal, mazal. But then, how do you get a 1-syllable word from 3 Hebrew letters? Doesn't happen. It's because they're trying to say that this is O. And then they're saying that this ba is a va. Very gross, right? Very nasty stuff. Yiddish is nasty.
Damn right.
This is a nasty thing, man. And for some of you blackity blacks, I remember seeing I was in Raleigh one time, and they got like some kind of Jewish spot up there on Falls of Noose, actually. But it's going towards, I don't know, I can't. It's like past North Hills, way past North Hills. Like going to, I guess you could say going towards Wake Forest. Okay. And they got some kind of Jewish place. I remember one time I was driving and I seen a brother going in there with his 2 little black babies.
Oh.
And he had a yarmulke on his black nappy head. And he put yarmulkes on these 2 little black boys' nappy heads.
That shine.
And I said to myself, I said, damn. And I was in the truth at the time. That was a rough one. Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Remember Captain Tazarian got into it with one of those cats. Remember he got into it with one of them black dudes who was trying to say that he was Jewish. And he was, he was down with the Jewish community or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Captain Tazarian said something about speaking Hebrew. And this cat said some of this, he said some Yom Kippur type stuff. And Captain Tazarian was like, I don't know what the hell you just said.
Right.
I'll never forget that. Right. But this is profaning our holy tongue. Right? Our what? Lashawan Qadash. Our holy language. Our language is holy. Right? Like Officer Yanazar said so well, how the hell are you going to change the language that the angels speak? That's crazy.
Salaki, sir. You seem to be muted. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Khan and one Khan.
Salakia. Salakia. Khan. That was weird. It like went off and he was, I said Khan Akash. I said his name and he responded and could not hear me. That is weird. But no sweat. No sweat. Yeah. We don't have fortune in our culture.
Damn right.
So let's get into this for today. I know obviously Yanazar read some scriptures early. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to rehash that. We've been dealing with possessives, words with possessives. I'm gonna go ahead and erase that side. We'll leave this for now because we're gonna come back to this. But I did want to talk about these directions. And these should be familiar to a lot of brothers, especially my people who are graduates.
That's right.
Then we're going to get back into the possessives, right? All the different ways that we can use it. Directions. Then we're going to talk about the possessives.
So like I said, I was just wondering, have y'all gone into basic conversation yet? Like, you know, things like how are you? My name is stuff like that. Have y'all gone past that or? Yeah, come on.
But not like where we've kind of gone into a simple phrase or conversational things. We've just showed the basic structure of a sentence.
Okay, come on.
That's kind of what we've been doing. But as far as going into like phrases you would use in a conversation, we haven't quite got there yet. But that's very good. We probably can talk about it.
Come. Yeah, I just didn't know where the lessons were.
Get some body parts. Pause. Simple sentences. We'll continue with that. I hope all my officers are ready for this major council. Ooh-wee. That'll be fun. Right. So let's get into it. And I'm gonna lean on my brothers a little bit, see who remembers what. Last week we was breaking down the phrase Baba Kashah, a very common Hebrew phrase we use all the time. We were breaking down how that word works, why that word works, how it does, right? And this right here is something that's important to understand, this concept of the root word and then the inflections that are added to a root word in order to formulate a new word. So Baba Kashah meaning please, right? We're saying please, right? Because why? In English, that's how we speak. To ask for something, you say please. May I have this, please? Would you please? Right? But if you break it down, you asking please or to someone, what are you doing? You are making a request. You're saying I request, or in request, if you could, right? And so all of this, another thing to understand is that when we say, well, this word means this, understand that it's not always black and white. It usually isn't. Why? Because English is not what? True, but on topic, right? You're right. But English, why would I say that this, we use this word to say this, but this really, really is not this? You're thinking a little too deeply. It's the most simple answer you can think of. It's super simple. English is not what? That's it. English is in Hebrew. So then what? So then please is an English word. Baba Kashah is a Hebrew word. This is just the closest thing that we have from how we tend to speak that we can extrapolate in Hebrew. We're taking this word that we're very familiar with and trying to find a Hebrew equivalent, right? But this, technically speaking, is saying in request, or even that humble tense. Remember, this doesn't change the word. This I at the end here is not changing the meaning of the word. It is simply, again, it's an inflection that's kind of making it, kind of driving the point home that you're in a humble position. Like I'm not in charge here. You know what I mean? You're speaking to someone, or it's a reference that someone else has the dominion of a thing, and I am humbly coming to them, humbly requesting, right? That's what it means here. What it means in request. Now, salakia. Salak means to what? To forgive. And we demonstrated that these possessives, right? It's a possessive when you say my, because you say my car, your house, his name, her face, their world, y'all house. You know what I mean? We're gonna be at y'all house. We're gonna be at y'all's house. You know what I'm saying? Right? Our God. It's possessive. But we use this phrase right here, salakia, to show what? That the possessives also function as what? Grammatically. In that sense, it's right here. Salakia means what? Right. Is me a possessive word? Sure.
Okay, so Slacky. No, just all right. So if I'm saying forgive me, I'm asking. Oh wait, so I'm asking you to forgive me So no, it would not be possession
Right.
in that sense.
Technically,
Come.
it's not possessive because there's no what? There's nothing to possess.
Yeah.
There's no ownership.
Yeah. Come.
You can't own forgiveness.
I'm over.
Right. My is a again. This goes back to what I said about please. Hebrew is not English.
Come.
So in English, there's there's a separation between what? Between the possessive and the what? A pronoun. There's a separation. Now you have sometimes pronominals, which is what our version is, where it's a word that can double as either one. It can be possessive or it can be what? It can be a pronoun. Or better yet, let me make sure I clarify. It can be a possessive pronoun or it cannot be a possessive pronoun. Me is not possessive. You cannot, unless you're like a leprechaun. Because only a leprechaun would say, well, that's me car. Or some Irish cat would say, that's me house. You know what I'm saying? So they was definitely them Bunyami, some of y'all not a Kashgar, but some of them Jamaicans, I'm certain them Irish had to be down there at some point. Because there's a connection between them accents, I'm trying to tell you. There's a relationship. You just said it.
But that part. But I don't know the rest.
Hey, look, there's a connection with some of them words. I got to get with Hazahab. That way I'm not being disrespectful. He's Bunyamian. He's Jamaican. I'm like, get with him. I believe he said it. There's something connection there with the Irish and the Jamaicans. I don't know what it is, but it's there somewhere.
Maybe Bahamas?
Nah, Kashgar, he don't got that kind of accent. Red Stripe.
No, not Red Stripe. The black beer. I love that.
That
stuff,
lager?
too. No, Guinness Stout.
Oh, that Guinness.
The Irish, that's come from Ireland. That's the
Right.
Irish make that.
Captain Knight thought we drinking them Guinness Stouts.
Oh, I love them joints. too. I love some Guinness Stout.
Right.
I don't even think they
Captain
got
on
it
that
down
Guinness.
here. I don't see Guinness down here at all.
I've seen it in the house. That's the only time I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? But no one generally is. You can't say that's me house. You know what I'm saying? Correctly, the proper English is what? That's my house. Is that your daughter? Right? Where's his hat? Where's her gloves? That's possessive. It's like something you have ownership over, or better yet, even if you don't actually own it, it just means in the context of the sentence, it's being attributed to this particular person. That is called grammatically a possessive pronoun. But then you also have regular pronouns like me. Well, this actually would be like, I think, what they call reflexive. Okay? Because I is the first person singular pronoun. Right? As in, I like tequila. That is first person singular pronoun. It is replacing a noun. As in, I don't got to say Tabawan. I say what? I say I. Someone look up reflexive pronoun. Baba Kusha. Reflexive. Reflexive, if I'm not mistaken. A reflexive pronoun. Go ahead and read it.
Come. A reflexive pronoun is a pronoun that refers to another noun or pronoun within the same sentence. In the English language specifically, a reflexive pronoun will end in self or selves and refer to a previously named noun or pronoun. English intensive pronouns used for emphasis take the same form.
Oh, that just sounds like word salad.
You said word salad.
Yeah, kind of. That's
Okay, slide yourself. I made this when the subject and the object of a verb are the same. So
Okay.
reflexive pronouns are words like myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves.
Got you. So my bad. I gave you the wrong one. So that's what a reflexive is.
Okay.
The particular kind of pronoun that me is and other ones that we're talking about here are what are called objective personal pronouns, or pronouns that act as the object of a sentence, as opposed to, hold up, what are the other ones called? Let's see, object versus subject, I think. Yep. Object versus subject pronouns. There we go. Here we go. Right. So the object pronoun, so the subject pronoun is I, meaning that you use I when you're the subject of the pronoun. I like tequila. The sentence is about what? It's about me and what I like. You know, it's not, in that sentence, I just use subject, I mean object pronoun, right? Because if I say I like tequila, it's that sentence. The communication, all sentences, all language is about communication. So I like tequila. The point of saying that is to show what I like. If I say she likes me, is that sentence about me? Who's it about? Her. It's about she or her, right? And it's about what she likes. And I happen to be the thing she likes, so she likes me. That's the difference. So these pronouns, right, these possessives also work as pronominals in that they can also double as pronouns, right? That's what a pronominal is. It's a word that can be used as a pronoun. So even though ya at the end of a word, for example, let's get an example. Let's not just bump our gums here. We're going to get to these directions in just a second. So bear with me. But say the word name, which is what? Right. Shum. I can say, how would I say my name? I would say Shum. Yeah. Root word, possessive. My name. Purely possessive because it is giving a designation of whose name we're talking about. This name belongs to me. Okay?
You on mute again? So that case, you're muted again.
It's lucky, Akash. Can you hear me out? Lucky, Akash, can you hear me?
Khan and one Khan.
Oh, why is it coming through there? Go ahead. Something yourself?
What about the Salaki?
Oh, no, it's not you about to say something. Oh, no. Fix this audio. How about now, Akash?
I can hear you good, Khan.
Oh, surprise. Okay, I had to do some adjustments here. My bad. Salakia to everybody tuning in. All right. We should be good to go. All right, you were saying something about Salakia. Right. I was asking the question that I was asking to Aki. Right. We were talking about objects and subject pronouns.
Come.
In Salakia, right? This forgive me. Salakia means forgive me. Is the me the object or the subject? Officer Yanazar said it's the object, and Officer Mayashar said it's the subject. Why do you say it's the subject?
It's like, sir, because you're asking the person who you're asking forgiveness of would be the subject. That's why. That's my logic.
Wait a minute. See, that's the opposite of what you just said.
Is that what I said?
Officer Yanazar said that the me here is the object. You said me here is the subject.
Oh yeah, come, because I'm what forgiveness for myself.
Right.
From this person.
So then the person would be the what?
Oh, person is.
Well, I'm asking you.
Come, the person is the subject.
So you're saying the person's subject.
Come.
Now I mean me is what?
Okay. What?
Can you have two subjects?
Well, in a sentence, you're describing something. I would say no, sir.
You can.
You can. Oh.
I can say George and Susie ran up the hill. Mm-hmm. But the question here is, if you say, "Forgive me," are you subject, or object?
So, like I said, I would be the object.
Wow.
Because I'm the one asking for the forgiveness from the subject.
In a way, yes, but there's a better way you can word it. You're right, but think about it. Yeah, Yanazar. Forgiveness is the action.
Okay.
Technically speaking,
Silaki, sir.
I don't even know if forgive me is a complete sentence. Go ahead, Akash.
You can't hear Yatazar as he respond.
Say it one more time. You couldn't hear Officer Yanazar's response?
Khan and one Khan.
Okay.
I had just asked the question was forgive the subject.
Right. He was asking if forgive was the subject. But forgive would be the predicate. The action. This sentence in English doesn't actually have a subject, technically, because to forgive me, like Officer Mayashar said, you are the one asking for forgiveness.
Right.
But who's doing the? Remember that in a sentence, the subject is the thing or the person that is what?
Being spoken of?
No, not necessarily. Anything can be spoken of. Well, I'm taking y'all back to grade school with this one. What is the relationship between the subject and what they call the predicate? I said, what is the relationship between the subject and the predicate?
Okay, so the predicate slugs are this is the action for the noun? Is the action
You on it?
like, for example, like right here it says in John went home, the went home is the predicate.
Mhm.
So as in forgive me, forgive would be the predicate, right?
Yes.
Okay, come on.
In fact, the whole sentence is a predicate.
Okay.
Whole sentence. Doesn't now again, that's why it's called a predicate. A predicate is the type of phrase, not a particular word. That might be confusing you. Because you think about predicate, like, okay, it's the verb or it's the action. The predicate is the part of a sentence that describes the entirety of the action. So if I say, what was that sentence you just read?
Yes, like sir, John went home.
John went home. The action is he went. But the predicate phrase is went home. And the subject of that sentence is what?
John.
Why is he the subject and went home is the predicate? Yeah, that's all. Because he's doing the action. In the sentence, forgive me. Is me doing the action?
Loss.
No. Me is not doing anything. Because it's the what? Object of the sentence.
Ah,
It's the thing that is being paused, acted upon. Okay? That's what makes it an object as opposed to a subject. Now, this is not true of every single one of these pronominals or possessive. This doesn't always work that way. But I'm just using that to show you the difference between the word my and me, because that was at the beginning was a moment of contention, right? It was like, well, to forgive me or my, or what's the relationship? The relationship is that my is a possessive. Me is not a possessive. It's an object pronoun. And as we go further along, we will see we are more inclined to use, these are just prepositions. But remember, we said, what is the pronoun for I? What is the Hebrew word for I? Anya. What is the Hebrew word for you? We use it every day. Atha. What is the Hebrew word for we? Mm-mm. No, close. That's the possessive for we. What is the Hebrew pronoun for we? I'll give you a hint. Nawa is in it. Anak nawa, right? It was Anya, Atha, Anak nawa, a thumb, a thun, right? And I'm missing one. Is it they? Yeah, hum and hun, which actually are the same in their possessives. Okay? Those are our pronouns. And I'm not trying to confuse anybody. If anybody has any questions, just ask me. The point that I'm trying to make right now is that we will see in there. This is why when you go in your blue letter, you're going to see different words used at times. And I'm preparing you to not be confused. You'll say, well, wait a minute. Officer Dabawan said me is Yah at the end of a sentence. But it may not always be that. Because it depends on the kind of sentence it is. Sometimes you got to use Yah at the end of a sentence. Sometimes you got to say ah or Anya. Sometimes you'll say for her, you'll say ha at the end of a sentence. But guess what? Sometimes you might say, what was that other word we use for her? Ha-ya-ah. Ha-ya-ah, right? Because the pronoun for him is what? Or he, excuse me, is hawa'a. And for she is haya'a. And you'll see different ones in different sentences. You'll be like, wait a minute, Officer Dabawan told me. He told me that he was this word or her was. It depends on the sentence. There's a few different ways to say these words. Maya Shaw, you got something?
Oh no, I was going to ask you, sir, if you had time. Could I get that he, she, in an we, the naknawa in Hebrew? I don't have those.
I got you. Don't sweat. I'll just write it right here.
Oh yeah, come on.
Like I said, we're going to get into these directions, right? But just bear with us as we're getting to understanding grammatically of the difference between these things. Why am I going through all of this? Now, don't let me forget. We're going to do this right here, right? With the he, she, and us, or we, excuse me.
Okay.
Because as we see with Baba Kushah and Salakia and so many other words, if you are in the Sabbath service, you are reading the Hebrew. Yanazar, if I'm wrong, if I'm lying, tell me, say something. You will read so much better if you understand this. If you understand that at the end of a word, what Yah means, what Ka means, Wa, Ha, Hum, Hun, Come, Kan, Nawa. At the beginning of a word, Ma, La, Ka, right? Ya, Wa, Ha, Da, Ba, Ah. If you understand Anya and so on, if you understand those inflections, it will be much easier for you to read. Way easier. Because you'll see certain things, and instead of saying something like this, you'll see this, right? You'll be in the Sabbath service. You'll be in the Sabbath service, and you'll see this. Salakia. You'll see no. My bad. Wrong word. Now, my veteran Hebrew readers who know what this word is, what is someone who hasn't been studying the different inflections, what are they going to probably read this as?
I want to say Salakia is Shemka.
That's what you want to say. Why do you want to say Shemka?
It's like it's because they say Sha Ma Ka, and the Ka ending right.
Yeah, Yanazar. You're right. You're right. What it actually is. Yanazar is right because he's been there and he knows what it's like to read, see that Hebrew word and say, well, let me just go ahead and sound it out and say, I ain't gonna say Shamaka. I'm gonna say Shamak. Shamak. But guess what? Yeah, Officer Mayashar is correct. The word is actually Shamka, which means what? Your name or thy name. But guess what? Shamak might be a Hebrew word. It might be. I'm not sure what it is.
Oh yeah, Salakia sir, them Yiddish they say schmuck.
They say schmuck.
Yeah, they call somebody that's that schmuck. You know, see,
That's funny. I'll be saying schmuck too. I ain't gonna hold you. I'll be saying those kind of. I'll be calling people schmucks. It's just I just find it funny. I've been saying this since I was in high school. But nonetheless, I got what you said. I get what you're saying though.
Go, God, right.
But the point I'm trying to make is that if you don't understand how you can even use this ka at the end of a word, you're automatically going to say shamak, which could be correct, but it may not be. And you're probably better off saying shamka. I have never been in the Sabbath service and seen shamak, but I've seen shamka many times, which means what? Your name. Okay? And so that's why it's important to understand all of this, because everything in this language, as you can see, with just, even words, Baba Kushah is its own word, but it's a what they call a compound word in English. It's compiled from what? From a preposition, a root word, and this is again we just call this an inflection, but it's not like anything based on exactly what you'll see here. But it's just another form of kind of just changing a little bit of the I don't want to say the meaning, but the essence of the word a little bit. Still the same word, not changing it. But that's why you'll see a lot of times when they call it feminine, they're wrong. But because we will see words like you will see words like the word for what's the word for prince? Who knows? Shar is one of the words for prince, right? You have multiple ways of saying prince because again, it depends on the concept of prince you're talking about, right? Because obviously Yanazar's name is related to prince. Why? Because it means to be consecrated. Like when you get oil poured in your head, it's almost about the process of becoming anointed. When a person became a prince, or when they took a certain position in our culture, they got what? They were consecrated. They got oil put on their head. They were crowned as a prince. That's what Yanazar means. He is crowned or he is consecrated as a prince. But then you have Shar, which means prince in the fashion in a more simple noun fashion. Like this is the word for prince, right? Which goes back to what I was saying about words. It's not English.
Right.
So every word is not going to be exactly, in the terms of you trying to think about it in English. In English, there's one word for prince. In English, there might be one word for this and one word for that. And if you just try to say, well, this Hebrew word means that, it can confuse you. So you got to be careful. You got to understand the context of certain words. Okay? You about to say something, Maestro?
Oh no, so like I said, I mean, you just explained right there because I was like, my name, Maya Shar is in there, but it don't. My name has nothing to do with Prince.
But if we guess what? If we were to actually break it down, somewhere along the line, there's something about the concept of a prince that probably is involved in your name. Every single minuscule part, like we've seen with Baba Kushab. Bakwash, this root right here, it means something about to almost not beg, but again to ask or to kneel in request.
Yes, I'm about to say
action.
Yeah, come.
Right? To ask for something. You add these little inflections that just make it more in line with what you want.
Come.
So you'll find that a lot of Hebrew words, there is a connection between the little things, the little couplets of letters and words that are involved. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Shar, Prince, in some way relates to your name. It very much could. Similar to, what's the Hebrew word for general? The Hebrew word for general.
Oh, Alawap, sir.
Alawap. What word does that come from?
Slacking, sir. Lawap. Well, no, because no. If I could, sir, in scriptures, it's chief captain, right? Or the translation we treat chief captain.
I'm not sure about that particular word.
Yeah.
Right. Got you. I understand.
Generally English.
Well, I don't think the word Alawap is used in the scriptures as a military leader.
Oh.
Right. You see the word Sarun for captain and things like that. But the word Alawap, right. Got you. Let's see, right? Again, I don't let me sidetrack, my
Oh yeah, come.
I'm gonna get to your questions about those pronouns. Let's see if we can't find it, because the concept we're talking about right now is in the building of words. Right, that's what we're getting to. So bear with me just a moment.
Oh.
So I'm gonna try to find a concordance.
Oh, it's like, sir, in the blue letter, right? In First Chronicles 27:34, they use the word general in English, but I hit the button. Yeah, I don't think so. First Chronicles 27:34. So then after Antiochus was Jedediah, the son of Benaiah, and Abiathar, and the general of the king's army was Joab.
Let me break that word down real quick.
And they give me the phrase and the general. See, that's sharp.
Got it. Here we go. H44-1. I'm gonna show y'all on the screen, right? So the word alawak. This is excellent question. So the ISUPK knows what we're doing. The word alawap comes from the word alap, which means cow or bullock, right? The word thousand also comes from that word. It essentially means one who is either in ownership or command of thousands of cattle. Now, Akash, you're a farmer, correct?
Khan and one Khan.
If I had 1,000 cows, what does that make me?
That make you a very, very rich man.
It makes me a very rich man, which makes me also what? Very
Very powerful.
powerful. If I have thousands of cattle, I am in goddamn charge because I have power and I have money and I'm better than everybody else. So now, here we go with this Hebrew word H44-1. And it says, what is the first? I'm going to have one of the I can read. I'm going to show you on the screen first. I'm one of the I can read the first entry of this word. Salakia. Yeah, bear with me. This book is, kind of hefty. The H441. This book is a little hefty, so Salakia. Y'all see that word right there? That top word right there. See that? Okay. I know it might be a little fuzzy for y'all, but if you look at that word, you should see the same thing. Now, Maya Shar, can you read that word H44-1 right here in the concordance? That top one, right there.
Khan. Is the H441 in the Strong's concordance? Alawap.
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 Alawap. Alawap. Then it says what after that? Read right after Alawap.
Khan. Or
Shortened version of it. Go ahead.
Khan. Alawap from H502.
Alap, because it comes from the word cow. Go ahead.
Khan. Familiar. A friend. Also gentle. Hence a bullock as being tame. Applied, although masculine, to a cow.
Yeah, go ahead.
Khan. And so a chieftain.
So wait a minute now. Hold up, brother. You got to slow down. And so a what?
And so a chieftain.
Spell that word.
CHIEFTAIN.
Hold up. Let me make sure I'm not. This is not. Hold on. You said CHIEFTAIN. A chieftain. But first of all, when you Google chieftain, it's hilarious because it pulls up a huge, like, military tank. So that's already funny. That's funny. Chieftain definition: the leader of a people.
That's right.
Or clan. A powerful member of an organization. Chieftain. That's what chieftain means. Read on.
Khan. As notable, like neat cattle. Captain.
A what?
Captain.
A captain, but not in the sense you're thinking of when we say captains in the ISUPK.
That's right.
Right? Again, you gotta think. Don't think so much English. The definitions are not always perfectly symmetrical.
Damn right.
This right here ain't talking about, even in the army, in the U.S. Army, who's higher, a captain or a general?
General.
A general, but technically a general is also a what? A captain, because they are over a lot of people, but they're the highest form of it. So a chieftain here, a captain in this sense means the highest or the most powerful over a certain collection. Over what? There's another definition here that says what? A person that leads thousands. Okay.
I'm right.
So that's why we use the word alawap for general.
Come on, Khan.
Okay, that's where it comes from. It comes from. And I'm not just you asked the question.
Oh, yeah, come
and
on,
it's
Khan.
a perfect question, right? Because it's like, well, where does this word come from? I haven't seen
Right.
it, but that's where it comes from. Alap meaning cow. So again, if you have a lot of cattle, right, then you are, a chief. You're in charge. And remember, what does wa mean when we put it in the middle of a Hebrew word? It turns it into
Is that the end?
no.
Mm.
That's why. That's why at the beginning of a word.
Oh, it's like you said. Yeah,
Mhm.
come on.
In the middle of a word, why is almost like it. It's not perfectly the same. Because it's just not perfectly the same. But it's very similar to in English, the ing. Right? This why is similar to the English ing, right? It turns something into an action or a continual action. As in, if I say, we always use this example. Giannis will tell you, right? You got a basketball hoop, but if I'm going to play ball, I can say I'm hooping, right? Right. To run can be a noun. It's a thing. But if I'm running, it's an action. I'm doing this thing. Some people tell a whole lot of lies. What do they be doing?
It's like so they be lying.
They be lying. Right? Right, exactly. So this is how the why often functions. It's similar. It's not exactly the same because this means cow. Were you cowing? It doesn't make sense. But you are a person who, again, as it said in the definition, if you could pass me the blue letter, the concordance one more time. It says, it was somewhere else I've seen it. Even when you go look, you see it a lot. Yep. It's a lop, ox's head, and eventually 1,000. Ox. Right. Here's one form. It says H503 denominative from H505 causative to make 1,000-fold, bring forth thousands. Right. And that's how we look at the use of that wa in that sense. It turns it from just a thing, a cow. Word. Hey, Salaki, we got cut off real quick. Salaki for that, Akim. Right. So that's where we get this word for general from. It comes from the word cow, which also again, that Salakia. I'm sorry, I know it seems like I'm rambling, but it's all connected because all of these words, if you just look at the word alap and say cow, the word alap means cow. It does, but it also means thousand. It also means captain. There's a lot of words that can come from a singular word. Depends on what? What's the magic word? Context. Every brother in Isupk got to understand what? Context.
Damn right.
Go ahead, Yanazar.
In the book of Genesis, chapter 36 and verse 15, like they don't give the other nations of Esau they don't give them the title of king. They give them the title of duke, but it means the leader of that people. And they use the term Alawap.
Simple. The leader of a people. The water for that, right? It uses, and it's funny, Officer Yanazar bringing that up because I remember seeing that because I had the same question when I first was doing the Sabbath service. I had the same question. I remember seeing the word Duke, and it's saying, "Oh, that's what it is right there."
They're not getting this credit to be like
Mhm.
king of Israel. No,
Mhm.
you on another level.
Right. But you are in charge of this particular nation of people. You know what I'm saying? God, most not correct because we know the Hebrew word for king is what? Is Malak, right? So, and real quick before we get to Officer Maisha's other question, what I was saying also with this humble tense, it's the same thing if you look at that's why I brought up the word for prince being Shar. So the word for prince, I'm gonna do ancient. Shar. And then they'll tell you a princess is what? Right, correct.
So like it's Sir Abraham's wife, her name means princess, Sarah, Shara.
Probably. Let's see.
Oh,
Most High in Christ, the water, you understand?
You know, that was a good point. But that's why we never go out with
That's right.
Both sides.
Right, Shara, feminine now. Damn right. Yeah, that's it. And guess what? Now, if you go deeper down the rabbit hole, pause. These brothers right here. You see when you in this Hebrew class, what happens? These brothers right here just had a revelation to some degree, right? And if you look up the word Shara, so Sarah's name is Sarah Shara. It says proper feminine noun, the same as Shara, H8282. Which is from, it says in the etymology, the word root, it's from Shar. And guess what it says? It says feminine of H269. It says a mistress, wife in a sense, don't think mistress like English. Mistress or a wife, i.e. female noble, lady, princess, and then it says the word queen. Now, we never called our women queens, but the point is that really what our noble women would be called is what? Princesses. And to show you the devil, how in the hell could this word mean queen and princess at the same time? Now, if you get the word Shara from what? Shar, which means prince, then the word for queen would have to come from what word? Not Shar, it would come from Malak. Well, we don't have that. You ain't never seen no woman called Malakah. They call Shara, princess. That's what our highest, like Officer Yanazar said, the daughters of Sarah, a noble woman, a lady, is Shara. Okay, Most High in Christ. But yeah, so this is another example of this humble tense, right? Taking this root word and adding this just to demonstrate that this particular person is in a position of what? Subjection. And if I'm asking you, if I'm requesting something of you, in that moment, I'm in what? I'm in a position of subjection because you have to what? Grant my request. Yeah. All right. Water for the questions, yo, man. That was excellent questions, man. Y'all broke that down real too wild. Appreciate it. All right. Officer Maisha, you had a question about some pronouns, right? I'm gonna go ahead and erase these prepositions for now, but make sure y'all put this. If you want to take a picture, if you know what I'm saying, write it down in your notes, screenshot it. what I'm saying? I'll be taking pictures of my own classes, in case I ever got in, just so that way I know how to write things and put things on the board to yeah.
When we learn things like this out of one, we really start to understand. Like when I said in my introduction this morning how the language is connected to who we are, like that, what we just was dealing with is exactly that.
Absolutely, right? Because it's not in our culture to have a queen. Why would it be in our culture to have a queen when a queen is what? She's put on the same level as a king, pretty much, right? But in our culture, no, all of our women are princesses. Our women, guess what? My wife, I wouldn't care if tomorrow I woke up and I was General Thabawan, which of course I'm not saying that's going to happen or ever would happen. I'm just giving an example. If I woke up tomorrow and I was General Thabawan, you know what my wife is still supposed to do? She's still supposed to serve, not just me, supposed to serve her nation. And when she comes in here, I could literally be General Thabawan. And when she comes in here and sees Officer 500 Yanazar, she better say, "Shalom, sir." That's what she better do. She better give him respect and give Officer 50 Mayashar respect and all my brothers, right? Because we don't play that. This ain't blackety black. This ain't the conscious community. This ain't the conscious community. The black woman is not God. Right. The queen mother of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Which most of you niggas don't believe it anyway. You just saying it because you're trying to get some black box.
That's right.
You're just trying to get the box from some woman that you know. A woman just loves to be adulation. She loves to feel special. You know what I'm saying? And you know that she had a horrible life living in the ghetto. And so that's your game, is to say you the queen mother of the earth and all things come through you. And now she feels like, oh my God, I got to give him the draws. Yeah, Yanazar.
Oh yeah,
Captain the Card. I was watching that today, where he put that chick in her
Yo,
place.
that's one of my favorites. What'd he say?
She said that the woman creates life. She said, have you ever
met a man that creates life?
He said, yeah, me.
He said many times. Yeah, he said, oh, yes, my sister.
I humble you.
He's like, I'm the one who brings life or whatever. He said, but can it happen without me humbling you? That is like a mic drop. Right. That's a mic drop right there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Captain the Cod. You know what I'm saying? Captain the Cod, if you're watching, I know I was supposed to text you back. I got you. So like it, sir. I'm gonna hit you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad at me, sir. I got something for you. I got you. But yeah, but that's what it is. We don't do that blackety black. The woman is God. It's literally not in our language, man.
Right.
That's the crazy part, like Officer Yanazar said. We don't even have the words to describe this thing. It's like, what the are you talking about, Queen? What? We don't know what the hell that is. We don't have that thing. We've never had it. We don't have words to describe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Yanazar, please.
Was it Esther or was it
Vashti? One of them?
When she was the queen, she was from our nation. Was it Esther or was it Judith?
I want to say Esther.
Yeah, she was called queen because she was the queen over another nation. She wasn't the queen of Israel. She was the queen over that heathen nation because she was married to the heathen king, in case somebody was going to try that one.
Absolutely. Excellent. Excellent. Bear with me just a moment. Let's see. Yeah.
Why do we keep going on to that podcast show? And that's like the third, fourth time you went on Captain of God.
Oh, up there. I mean, it's exposure.
Okay. I mean, it's like
exposure. Because guess what? You know how many brothers? It's like they say, like the scriptures say, right? Like, you know, many are called, a few are chosen, right? Guess what? Some people are going to see that and be like, yeah, why they disrespecting that sister right there, man? What she's saying is true, man. The queen mother, she brings forth the bears of children. But you didn't say that. Man's question, did you see that video before you came in the truth?
So like I said, I saw the one with General Mahyman with her and General Mahyman before.
And what did it make you say?
Man, this bitch crazy. It's like
There you go. That's it. And you wouldn't have been able to say these blackity blacks are crazy unless you've seen that video. That's the same thing with myself and many other brothers. A lot of these things, we're not worried about what the masses, 10,000 people watch it and 8,000 say, man, these niggas crazy. But, 500 say, let me go see what these brothers talking about. I'm just going to go to class.
and to piggyback off that, sir, Salaki, where is that scripture? Many are called, but few are chosen.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I could. That would be great.
I hate that I forgot it. By the way, yeah, just piggyback. If y'all can find it for me, Baba Kushah. But what obviously Anazar said is absolutely correct about Esther. In the book of Esther, in the fifth chapter, in the fifth chapter, and the third verse, it says, "Then said the king unto her, What wilt thou, Queen Esther?" And in this instance, it doesn't use what word? Read my mind.
Oh, Salaki, Shara.
It doesn't say Shara. What does it say? You can get a wild guess. See, these scriptures come full circle. We don't. No, Cal, but he's looking for the blue letter. The apocrypha is not in the blue letter. I just cross-reference it. If I'm looking for a word and I see it in the apocrypha, I just try to find it in the other scripture. But yeah, so just long story short, Esther is referred to in that scripture as Malakah. It's referred to as Malakah. Let me get these pronouns. You said you wanted the
Oh yeah. Okay, sir. He, she, and we. If I could. Sir.
I got you right now. I'm straight up. Yeah, I won't. Unless you want me to go into it. That's pretty much the ones you wanted, right?
Yeah, Comic Con.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Mhm. Most High in Christ. So, what we will do then is we only have about close to a little bit 10 minutes left.
Damn.
Yeah. We'll get into these directions.
Cool.
Just a couple of words, right? Go to these directions. Next week, don't let me forget.
Comic
Next
Con.
week, we'll get further into these possessives and see them fully at work, and used in different ways. Used in different ways within sentences. Okay, like I said, we'll see the use of the object pronouns, right? Same with him. Him is the object pronoun. His is the possessive, right? Possessive, that's his car. But him is the object pronoun. It's like when you use him is not the subject. You know what I'm saying? It's the object. She loves him. She hates him. She misses him. The him is not the one doing the action. If him was doing the action, what word would we use? There we go. You follow? Get it? If me was doing the action, we would say what? I'm doing the action. Him. Her, if she was doing the action, we would say, I just said it. She, no, it'd be she. Right? And so on. Let me see, is there any more? No, that's too long, right? Well, if we were doing our is possessive, and then the object is us. You know what I'm saying? The Most High punished us. We didn't do the punishing. We didn't do the action. The action happened to us. But if we were doing the action, I just said it again. It would be not us or our, it would be we. We disobeyed the Lord. Right? And so on. Yeah, next week we'll get more into understanding that, okay? The object pronoun versus the subject pronoun and the different uses of those. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and erase these prepositions so we can get some of these directions. All right.
Comic Con.
Break the monotony and get some new words up here. So like I don't know why I'm using this. Bear with me.
Oh, Slicer, you want some of them wet nap things?
Oh no, we're actually good for today. If anything, we need to do that during the week.
Okay.
So yeah, during the week, we'll have to kind of wipe it down and get some of this background stuff off of here.
Okay, I could do it too. Thanks.
Right. Since we got some Hebrew Academy graduates in here, I expect them to know a couple of these.
Well, actually, it's like certain 3.
Maya Shar said he knows 3. Well, now Maya Shar got to prove it.
Okay, come. Do I do the transliteration?
Just give just for now, just pure transliteration, no Hebrew. Pure transliteration. We want to know how to say these words so we can use it. I was about to say, I ain't never seen no Shah. Like, I've never seen that.
Shama. Okay. What, sir? Hey, what?
Shamayah.
Shama all saw. None saw. Kurwan has an eye. Boom.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
See, I didn't have a new room, but quadam like quadam.
Hold up. Whoa.
I forgot to
Whoa. Slow down.
Come.
You said quarter one times the odd means what?
Forward march.
Which part is forward?
Quadawam.
So why would you write? Oh, no, stop again.
Oh.
You said quarter one is the forward?
Come.
Sure.
Yeah, come because Tazaid is the march.
Oh. Let me see here.
If I remember correctly, Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm. Bear with me just a moment.
My bad for the school.
One reason why that's because doesn't Quadam mean east?
You kind of seeing that's like what you were saying earlier, many meanings, different words. I know Quadam, when he was telling me the meaning of his name, he's saying facing east, forward, eastward. So Quadawam, forward, Tazaad, march, forward, march. Just like, the heathen in their army. If I remember correctly, sir. Like I said,
about correct. I'm just trying to get it here just to make sure.
Okay, sir. I mean, if you want, I can still spell. You want me to spell it, sir? Like try quad. Is it quadawam or quadamwa? No, it's quadawam. Come on, quadawam. That's odd.
Yeah, it's quadawam. You can erase those days right there to get some more space.
Come on.
Because right now, all I see is it looks like qua. I can't really see the. You can give yourself more space and actually, write it out. Do is write graffiti.
I'm just the worst at right. I'm an artist. Why don't want?
Come, Most High in Christ. That is correct. Give him a hand.
Christ. Okay, see.
Even though there's one, I'm a little surprised that you don't have up there. There's two I'm surprised you don't have up there.
If I could, sir, we always got the command up, down. Nope. Down. Since I don't know those.
But you got to think outside the box. Just because I said Hebrew Academy doesn't mean that you couldn't have heard these words in other places.
Oh, come. Backwards, sideways. It's like I said, I don't think I've
Trust
heard
me when I tell you, you know 2 more of these words.
I left my eyes up into the hills. That's the only thing I think of. Psalm 121. I lifted up my eyes under the hills. No. Lifted up mine eyes. My. I never heard backward or sideways.
Well,
Under or over.
you've definitely heard one of those.
But I think up and down are the ones you're talking about. Lifted up mine eyes into the hills. That's the only thing I can think of. My up, down. Down.
I'll give you a hint.
Come on.
These 2 words we say at the end of every class.
Oh. Okay. Yajamata.
Which means
Yajma is Mata is down. Oh.
damn right. Give him a hand for remembering the word down. Matah, that is correct. When we say Yad Yum Matah, that means hands down.
Come.
1 more you should know. We say it at the end of every class.
Madyum. Stand up. Ahmad. Yum. No. Y'all. Ahmad. Oh, yum. No. Doesn't make sense. All right, Majum, which means to stand. It's not. Side. Soft.
No.
No, that's turn.
This is going to stump you because you don't even think about this word, but you say it all the time.
I'm going through the whole, like what the security says. The okay. And with that. I know it's gonna be
What? Zara, did you want to give it a go?
Huh? Means what?
Yes. Give him a hand. That's not the one, though. No.
No.
Maya Shaw, go ahead, write it for him. But he's correct, but that's not the one I'm talking about. But Allah does mean up. Yup, perfect. Brother. Shout out to Maya Shaw for knowing how to spell that, even though he never heard that word before. But that is correct. But you were very close to the other one. He was close. That word. I
don't think it's under. When will we ever say back? Ever say silent? Over. What is it? I mean, this is a quagmire. Quagmire,
A conundrum.
Conundrum. There you go. It's like it's sir. It's like I'll be honest, sir. Have we ever heard backwards and sideways? I think we heard it right. It's like I never heard sideways.
To take that step, that side step,
A za step.
side step. Right. Yeah, out there.
I've never.
Side step.
I don't know the word for that, but I don't.
Just tell me you give up and I pause. I'll give it to you.
Ah, it's like I said, you got nothing else. I give up.
Y'all heard it here first, folks. He gives up. Akash, did you want to give it a go?
Nah, so
No sweat, Akash. I got you. No, Allah is correct for up. All of these are correct. Allah, Matah, Shama'al, Yum Yun, Wadawam. Y'all some suspense. Word for backward is akawar, and that is not the word I would like to talk about. The word for sideways is tazad. That is not the word I expected. And last but not least, the word for under is thakath, and that is not the word I expected y'all to know. But I did expect y'all to know Yahweh Shamar Isle. Atha. Hashem Yahushua. What does Yahweh Shamar Alatha by Hashem Yahushua mean? May the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Y'all should be ashamed. I should be ashamed. Get out my class. I'm joking. Most High in Christ. Yeah. Isle means over. All right. But well done, Akim. Well done. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to somebody sharp, man. He got a lot of them right. And obviously Yanazar. Y'all both got a lot of them right. You know what I'm saying? So Most High in Christ for that. We over the time. Are there any questions in the room? You got a question? Ask a question. Akash, you good, bro?
Tawada for the Hebrew and English class. So
Good night. So you're right, Rasalaki. Most High in Christ. I got to work on it. Yanazar, you two up? Most High in Christ. Okay, so if nothing else, next week we'll pick back up. Again, like I said, what I really wanted to get into was the different ways in which we use these possessives, added with the body parts. We're going to just kind of demonstrate it with that, and then get into some simple sentences using these pronouns, possessives, and all of these different things together. Like I said, so next week, same time, same place, we're going to be going into that. And if nothing else with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer of 500, Yanazar. Hey! Lock.
The swelling is down. It's just a little lump. Now, Security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 in Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, September 15th, and is the feast of the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. September 15th, Friday, and we'll be in North Carolina. We'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina, if you're in the North Carolina region. Remind Akim and Akwatian to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he has to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, men of Israel, I imagine